Hello, hello, welcome back to Shoutcast Stories, and this is episode 4. Last episode, we were joined by the lovely Mark of Gee, and well, now we are joined by the one, the only Borkey. So, Borkey, how are you doing today?
Doing phenomenal. Thank you for having me on. It's a
Ooh.
pleasure. It's a tough act to follow considering who you had on for the third episode, but I hope I'm still at least a bit entertaining.
You will be entertained. You're always entertaining. Of course. Mark of Gee is a very big caster. It's kind of like, it's kind of scary to follow someone like Mark, but hey, you're going to provide the same, if not better. No, I'm joking. You might provide better entertainment. I don't know. It's all subjective, right? But for people who don't know you, who are you? And just kind of, what do you do?
So I'm a Rocket League caster first and foremost. You can see me dabbling a little bit over on Rematch, but for the most part, just screaming at pixels on my screen.
Sick. We love that. We love screaming at pixels on our screen. It's the only thing I look forward to at the end of the day. I come home from a hard day of work. I'm like, right, what can I scream over now? Rocket League, Siege. But what game is what's calling me? But yeah, no, Rocket League and Rematch is kind of what you do. Rematch is like fairly new. I haven't really. I think I've played like maybe 2 hours of the game most, and I can't for the life of me get it down. I have no idea like how to play it, so I have no idea how to cast it either. But is the Rematch esports scene good? I've not seen much.
Well, So for a starter, I'll relate with you. I'm terrible at rematch. Like it's rare that I pick up a game where I'm not just like kind of middle of the pack. Every time I play rematch, I feel like I'm just like the worst player to ever touch the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is why I cast it because I get to enjoy other people who are a lot better than me.
Yep.
Um, but no, I mean, it's a brand. I guess, it's not brand new, but it's still a
Mm.
new game. So there's a lot of development still taking place for it. And right now, Slow Clap, the developers of the game, kind of gave the esports to the community. So
Ooh.
they recognize the potential there, but they're still probably working on the game. So
Mm-hmm.
everything is community ran right now. One of the biggest over there, being Rematch Esports. Not official, but they do have the name, and that's who I've worked with for the most part over there. I mean, they run a great show. The usually average like 1,000 viewers or so. So it's always a good experience, and I mean the production and all the hard work that everyone puts in over there, it's super admirable.
Yeah, Rematch is like, I don't know, because it's kind of Rocket League, but it's not Rocket League, right? And I'm like, should I be good at this? Should I be able to yap over this? I don't know. But like, speaking of
It,
Rocket League and Rematch, right? How do they compare? Because obviously you cast Rocket League, you cast Rematch as well. There's got to be like some similarity, and then there's got to be like a load of differences, right?
well, I mean, they just made Rocket League, but without cars at the end of the day.
So just football.
Yeah, no, it's just football. I can't believe they made rematch into a real thing, but um, I mean, it is very similar because both of them are I mean, one of them is just football, and then the other one's very football centric, of being Rocket League. So the terminology and a lot of that's the same.
Mm.
The real difference is you're not seeing like a bunch of fancy aerial mechanics. There's just kind of like a couple set metas that are being explored in the scene right now, which is always changing because again, it is a new game. So as new tech comes out, we'll see that continue to be introduced to the esport. But for the most part, I think the biggest difference is that it's not going to be like a 3v3, 2v2, or like ones category. It's all 5v5 right now for the esports scene. So
Oh.
it's a bit more chaotic.
Yeah, oh, I can imagine 3v3 Rocket League is enough for me to be a little bit confused about. It's too much for my brain to process sometimes when a threes match, and I just don't know what's going on half the time. That's why, like you said, that's why we cast, right? We can't play the game, we cast. Gotta go
Right.
down one route, I suppose. But before that we kind of dive into casting a little bit further, let's let people know about you a little bit more. Of course, you mentioned briefly you do Rocket League, you do Rematch, but how did you get into casting? Because I know a lot of people will kind of want to follow in your footsteps.
Yeah, I mean, we can. You want to start from the very beginning, take
The
us all the
very
way back?
beginning, yeah, take us back down memory lane.
Okay, so it all started. I think I might have been like 10 or 11 or something like that.
Ooh, okay,
And
okay,
I
we right
remember,
back.
yeah, yeah, no, we're going far back.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember my dad gave me his 2000 Dell laptop because he wanted me to play RuneScape with him. And that was kind of like my introduction to like computer gaming. And on that laptop, he had Counter-Strike 1.6 installed.
Oh.
And me being a curious kid, I was like, what is this? I booted it up. And I instantly fell in love with Counter-Strike. And then from there on out, at like 13, 14, I was competing in Counter-Strike Source. And for the longest time, I really had the belief that I was going to be a professional Counter-Strike player. And I wanted to be involved in esports so badly. That's all I did was just grind Counter-Strike nonstop. Um, but then eventually I got a bit older and reality hit a little bit that I mean, I was decent, but I wasn't quite at that level that I would have hoped. And then kind of real life got in the way here and there. So I gave up on the pro player aspirations, sadly. But I still knew that I wanted to be involved in esports. I just didn't quite know how to get there or what I would be good enough to do to be involved in esports. Um, and I think around like the time that I was giving up on my pro dreams, I found RLCS. So I watched a lot of RLCS. I think it was season 3 when I first got into the Rocket League, and from there it just it's wasn't like I knew I wanted to cast or even had that as a thought. I just would jokingly in like a 1v1 with friends or whenever we're playing like 10 mans on Counter Strike, just start casting because I thought it was funny or trying to be annoying to my friends. And after a little while, some of my friends were like, you know what? You're kind of decent at this. You might want to try pursuing it or seeing if you could get farther with casting. But I never really thought anything would come of it. So one day I told my buddies, they were playing in an ESEA Open League. I said, "Hey, I'll stream your games. I'll cast them for you. We'll see what happens." All of our friends loved it.
Yeah.
And then one day it just happened to be, I figured I'll try my luck with Rocket League. Right place, right time. Unity Esports over in SSA for RLCS needed a team streamcaster. I saw the post like 2 minutes after it was made. Instantly sent DMs to the lovely owner there, Voodoo, and the rest is history.
Oh, so a CS professional. I mean, almost aspiring professional. You could have been like, God, I don't know CS. God, I'm so out of the loop. CS. Who's a good CS player? Zywoo's a good one, right? Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't keep up with CS. I'm just like, I watched DWC and I was like, oh, Zywoo is like, he was talked about. I think a decent amount. I don't know, but maybe you could have
it's
been. You could have
arguably a
been
goat.
arguably the go. Okay, so I know my CS stuff. Nice, great. I think I played like one game of CS total, and then the amount of like racist stuff that was shouted over comms over voice chat was enough for me to uninstall the game. It kind of seems like the whole demographic of CS is either gamblers, gaming addicts, or I don't want to say racists, but just like down bad people who are they're going through it.
It, it's it's a very tough community to navigate at times, depending on where you place on the rank levels and what region you're playing in. It can be tough. And I mean that's probably part of the reason why I didn't um commit as much time into it,
Mm.
just because it is one of the biggest games, if not one of the biggest esports, so everyone has the same ambitions there.
Yeah, CS is arguably. I mean, I wouldn't say it's. Is it the best FPS esport? I don't want to say it's the best, but it might be. It might be the goat of FPS esports, and
It
it
might be the
pains
most
me.
viewed.
Yeah, it pains me to say that, but I think it is. Oh man, Siege is. Let's got to catch up. Siege is the goat in my eyes, but CS is still good. You know, it's okay. I've watched a little bit of like when EWC was on, for example, and it's not too bad of a game. It just kind of. I know CS came out first, but like I played Valorant first, so it just kind of reminds me of Valorant in like so many ways. I'm just not good at FPSs. I just suck, especially having to stop and then shoot and man, that stuff exhausting. Let me fire down. Let me just hold my left click and pray, I suppose. But speaking on like your first esport cast, that was with Unity for at least Rocket League, right?
Right.
How was that when you got into it? Because obviously it's your first Rocket League cast. You've done a little bit of CS. Just give me the story. How did you feel doing it?
Well, I'll be so honest. I I was probably the most nervous I've ever been
Mm-hmm.
heading into something. I remember the night before, I was trying to sleep and I just kept tossing and turning, and I was like, oh, like it's my first opportunity. It's an RLCS team stream. I never thought that I would even get this opportunity to begin with in the first place. So basically, all the way leading up into jumping into the call time, I was like shaking in my boots. And then eventually, I got introduced to Sir Pegasus, who's a lovely talent, and Mr. Poggy as well over there. We call ourselves the favorite threesome for that cast because every time we're together, the vibes are just great. But they really made that experience so much easier because one, they're both, as I said, like amazing talents. They're super well versed in everything that they do. Um, so they just made the whole process so easy. They were very welcoming. They gave a lot of pointers and tips. And as soon as we got on the live screen and you could see my face and I started yapping, all the nerves went out the window. But yeah, I mean, it was just a really surreal feeling knowing that for the first time, I'm doing something that I've wanted to do or that I thought that was a possibility for me to do, and just kind of seeing that become a reality was like, I don't know, it just caught me so off guard.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like RLCS team streams are kind of hard to get. I can't lie. I mean, I had such a weird route into or route, however you want to say. I had a weird route into like Rocket League casting. Like I done a lot of voluntary smaller tournament organizers, and somehow was right place, right time. Got a massive DM from a big tournament organizer. Hey, we saw your stuff. We want you. I was like, sick, goated. But I never really got into RLCS team streams. This has been my first year of doing them, and I didn't realize kind of how scarce the opportunities are, especially when it comes to like EU and NA. Because I'm thinking, I've done all of these. Not to be cocky, right? I don't want to like toot my own horn, but like I've done all of these big tournaments that so many people have heard of. Maybe I can get a shot at an EU team, and I'm like, oh, this is a lot harder than I thought. Damn. But no, to have that as like a first opportunity is kind of crazy. It's not like was it? I'm gonna be a little bit cheeky here. I'm gonna be nosy, but was it like a voluntary thing?
Yeah, so it was voluntary.
Hmm.
But I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I know there's that whole like, oh, casters being paid in Liquipedia points.
Ooh.
And yeah, I mean, that's so I've been casting for probably 7 or 8 months now, or at
Hmm.
least actively getting opportunities in casting. So I'm still relatively new in the scene. Um, and when I was getting into castings, exactly when all of that was going down.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I remember sitting there and I was like, oh, I don't want to say yes to anything that's voluntary because what if I'm stealing a paid opportunity from someone? And I didn't want
Hmm.
to just instantly tarnish my name.
Yeah.
But no, like I mean, because Unity, they're pretty well known over in the SSA scene. Um, but for the most part, for me, casting is like passion. It was a
Hmm.
hobby that I wanted to pick up. So I had no problem jumping in there, and especially because of the environment that organization has, I do it for free any day of the week.
That's such a nice thing. That's so sweet. It's like, yeah, casting is a hobby. I mean, it's kind of surreal that this hobby can then turn into some form of like income. Like it's crazy that I can just sit down, yap for an hour or two, and then hey, here's my PayPal. I'll take that 15 euro that you promised me for that. It's kind of like surreal to think, hey, we're just yapping at games, and well, you've only done it for 8 months. I think I've only done it for maybe just under 2 years. I don't know at this point. It feels like it's been forever, but it's crazy that like this could actually turn into somewhat of like a career in a sense. I mean, it's hard to get into. It's
Yeah.
opportunities are scarce, especially with paid opportunities, right? We don't find them a lot. It's I don't know because I always have all my opportunities that have been big have always come straight to me in DMs. I have never had to go and reach them out. I don't know if you've had like a similar sort of thing or if you've had any sort of paid opportunities. How if you have, how have they come to you? I'm just curious on like a personal level because they've always just come to me. I've never had to go seeking.
Yeah, I mean the first paid cast that I did, I definitely got imposter syndrome from it
Oh
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, well, I'm doing this because I love it and it's a passion, and now I'm being paid to do it. So I mean, when you're getting paid, technically you can throw in the professional title.
Ooh.
But no, yeah, my first ever paid cast came to me, um, and it wasn't through the org. It was from the caster that was already set to do it with the org. They needed somebody to fill in, and through word of mouth, they knew about me, and they were like, "Hey, would you be available for this?" I said yes. I mean, that's what I do for most of my opportunities. I just jump in and say yes. I didn't even
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
if pay was a thing. And then like after like agreed and we talked a little bit more about it, he's like, "Oh, by the way, it's paid." And for me, I was like paid? That's crazy. But no, that was a really, really cool experience. Um, and I'll never forget that the first paid cast, like actually feeling like I made some sort of progress in the whole caster scene.
Hmm. Oh, 100%. My first paid cast was crazy. I was like, oh my goodness, I've done this and I've got so much money in my bank account. What is happening here? Like, it's so crazy though. It's so crazy how, like, it's not simple to get paid, but it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's if you put in time and effort, the opportunities you will find them or they will find you. It's not a lot of effort is needed though. Like you can get into casting for say 3 months. You could just really go all in, and then someone's gonna find you. Someone's gonna be like, "Hey, we have this. Here's 15 euro for this one cast. Off you pop," kind of thing. It's kind of crazy how quickly that hobby can then turn into a career. You know, you can kind of be professional. Like you said, once you get that paycheck in your bank account, you might as well just be tier one. But kind of going off of that. Um, in terms of casting, do you have like a most memorable cast? Because a lot of people do. A lot of people have one that's really like struck them and it's staying in their mind.
Ah, that I mean, that's a really good question. I think for me, probably one of my most memorable moments of casting
Mm-hmm.
was so it's Unity Esports over in SSA. I was working with them all the way from split 1 to split 6, and the entire time they were so close but just out of reach of top 16. They hadn't
Oh.
made a top 16 since the year prior opening split. So the first split of the year prior, they haven't been into top 16. And I remember it took like there's a couple roster changes, some shuffles. It took an unlikely signing of a returning player, um, and it was game number 5 of Swiss against Team Hybo, another team that has made top 16s already so far this regional. Um, and then we took we took them the distance, game 5, and with 2 seconds remaining, the former player or the former Unity player that came back just to stand in, Jeff, um, scored a goal with 2 seconds left to take it. And I just remember like because when I watch Rocket League and why there's so much passion for me is because I'm truly just a fan of the game. I love the game. I love moments like that. And then so when people are there in the channel and I'm able to produce a call in the final 2 seconds, it was just my pure genuine excitement. That's just it's just a moment that I always remember. And I wasn't even supposed to do that game.
Mhm.
I because it was me, Sir Pegasus, and Mr. Poggy. We had a schedule for who would get which game, and then Sir Pegasus, being the goat that he is, gave me his spot for that, and it's a memory I'll never forget.
He's the goat. He is hands down. He is so nice. We've always like crossed paths, and then we just never got to cast together, and then we finally did. And I was like, "Yo, this is sick. You're so cool." I think it was actually Dream Station we did, which I think was also where I first casted with you.
Yeah, that's where our paths finally crossed. Because I know,
Mhm.
like, we've interacted before then, and we were both involved, like, within certain, like, events at the same time, but we never, like, really connected. And then I just happened to get a lovely DM from Dream Station, and I was, waking up at 4 a.m. to substitute for you guys. And that was
Yeah.
a great experience too, working with you for that, GSL stage.
Oh, the Dream Station stuff was so much fun. It was so good. That was like again my first proper RLCS like team stream, and it was so good. It was so much fun. Big up Dream Station. It was so good. Um, but kind of going off of so your most memorable one in terms of casting. Obviously, casting comes with its perks. It comes with its downfalls, right? And it definitely comes with its challenges. So has there been a specific like challenge that just you cannot shake? Like your toughest challenge, I suppose, so far in casting. Has there been one?
Um, so there's a answer that I'll give that's more of like a personal thing. I'll give
Mm-hmm.
you two answers for this,
Oh,
but
okay,
the first
okay.
one is I'm annoyingly like a perfectionist. So I'm by default my own worst critic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the biggest hurdle that I've been trying to get over myself um is just like how hardly I gauge myself. And because it's like okay, I'm getting some of these opportunities like Dream Station, which has the likes of like LCT, Kevin, and Baller Reese players that I've known and seen in the scene.
Yeah.
For me, because I'm my own worst critic, at the same time, I'm also getting like I mentioned it earlier, but it's really imposter syndrome for me because it's
Mm-hmm.
like I spent years watching these people. I've seen multiple of the casters that I've gotten the opportunity to work with on team streams or just through other events. And stepping into the booth with them every time and being my own worst critic, I'm like, I don't belong here or I shouldn't be here. And that's kind of, it's like a weird mental battle that I go through where it's like, yeah, I don't have the same quality or skills as these people do, so I'm gonna disappoint. And so that's kind of like a personal battle that I've been going through.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot better with it through time and experience and exposure. But that's definitely one of the like toughest things that I've had to deal with personally, and I
Mm-hmm.
just have to remind myself like you wouldn't if you weren't doing something right, you wouldn't have been offered this in the first place. So I just have
Yeah.
to ground myself here and there. Um, but then I would say one of the biggest struggles that I had getting
Mm-hmm.
up to this point was even getting opportunities. So
Yep.
yeah, like as a new talent, one I didn't realize how many people were also trying to be talent.
Yeah.
I just kind of like I was just very arrogant to all of it. I didn't under or ignorant to all of it. I didn't realize that like there's more than just like the people that I've seen and people that I knew. And then once I started sticking my toes into the water and realizing just how big of a scene it actually is. There's a lot to compete with, and I mean, it at times, yeah, it might be the easiest time to get into casting or being a talent because of all the social media presence.
Mhm.
But at the same time, now there's an influx of people trying to do it, myself included. So it is just like a very interesting world.
Yeah, I suppose that in itself, like when you know there's so many people and there's this massive pool that like you'll never fully understand the extent of. That kind of also ties into that imposter syndrome thing, where you're like, oh god, there's so many more people than what I thought. Why am I here? Which I think everyone gets in casting. I hope everyone gets in casting. I hope no one thinks their first ever cast. They're like, oh god, I'm the bee's knees. I'm gonna be tier one in no time because, I mean, I don't want to like burst your bubble, but it's a tough road. It's a tough journey. Tier one would be lovely, but not all of us are fortunate enough. You know, some of the times it's just a hobby that has a little extra paycheck every now and then, I suppose.
Right,
But
right.
but yeah, like imposter syndrome. I mean, at least for me, that hit me crazy hard at the start as well. I get that completely. I first ever cast I done paid. Um, just so that you can understand the extent of it. I'd only ever done voluntary casts, and I was like, oh, okay. I get a nice little DM from someone. I'm like, oh, what is this? Let me open my Discord, I suppose. And it's an invite to do, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but University Esport Masters.
Ooh,
It
yeah,
was
I've
it was surreal. It was crazy. I was like, yo, I've just done voluntary stuff. How do you know my name? This is crazy, but sure. And then I saw the first rate of like how much I was going to be paid. And I suppose for me that kind of skewed my vision of esport pay rates. I don't know how much your first pay was, but for 2 days of work, I was around 350 Great British pounds,
ooh,
which is crazy, by the way.
yeah.
That is like real imposter syndrome hit so hard so quick. But for me, it then kind of skewed my entire vision of what esport rates should look like for casters, because like the next couple of casts later, I was like, here's £50 for this one. I was like, oh, hold on a minute. Is this normal? Are you lowballing me? Do I have to like fight with you to bargain back up? But it's crazy how different the esports scene is for like payment. That's it's so hard to be to understand. The payment is crazy because 1 minute you're offered 350, the next you're offered 50, but for the same like sort of level and the same time that you're putting into it.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that is like just the world of esports, and it's unfortunate that they set the bar so high for you to start things off. Um,
Just a
but no,
little
I
bit.
mean, yeah, I mean, it is. That's always going to, I feel, be a constant struggle in esports because as much as or as big as esports is, I feel like at the same time it's also just like a giant pit that everyone's throwing money into, hoping that somehow it pays off here or there. But at the end of the day, it's all about the content, and that's what
Mhm.
we're here for.
I suppose it's all about the love of the game, like you mentioned. It's all about the love of esports. That's why people throw so much money into it, because even if they don't have a good like return on investment, or even if they don't make profit from it, they still enjoy the content they're putting out, and it's just a great hobby. All these people love esports, so they're happily throwing all of this money into it to create entertainment for everyone else. It's kind of wholesome. It's kind of cute in a way, you know. It's kind of like, oh wow,
Yeah.
you're throwing you're going to do a 9 to 5 and then throwing all of your monthly paycheck at me to yap for 4 hours. God, you must really love this game, or you must live with your parents. I don't know how you're affording rent. um, but oh man, esports is great. It's so good. It brings everyone together. It gives people a sense of community. I mean, we wouldn't know each other. You and everyone else you've casted with wouldn't know each other. And I mean, it's just so surreal. And one thing that it can lead to is like LAN events, right? And then you meet people in person for the
Right.
first time. You're like, whoa, you're real. Like, you're not just on a screen. I see you right now on a screen, but you're a real person. And it's kind of crazy. But of course, you've not had a LAN event, I don't think.
No, I have not yet.
But is it something? I mean, is it something like if you were offered, if you were, hey, here's a LAN event. I want you to cast this. Is this something that you would instantly jump at?
Oh, I mean, 100%. I think the biggest factor of it would be is location.
Mm-hmm.
So like I would absolutely love to do a LAN. I'm sure anybody that's in the esports scene wants to do a LAN. But it is at the end of the day, location is the biggest thing. So for me, I'm in North America. I know there is stuff here, but it seems like a majority of it is over in EU. Um, and so for me, it would be like I would love to cast this land, but do I want to spend upwards of over $1,000 on tickets and everything like
Yeah.
that? So it's always interesting, um, on what like the opportunities. I personally, I've only gotten one opportunity, which was over in the UK, and
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately not able to make that. But still, if it comes and it works out and the moment's right, I'll be there.
If the time is right, yeah. Like location is a massive, massive thing. I'm so lucky
Yeah.
being UK based. I'm like, hey, there's a lot of stuff here. I can travel for stuff. I mean, it sucks doing I done a 6 hour drive down to somewhere called Stoke, and I had no idea what was in Stoke. I still don't really know what's in Stoke apart from this land venue. Um, but even then, like having to just do a 6 hour drive to me is like, oh, this is so much travel just for a LAN. But for you, it'd be like, hey, I've got to drop 4 figures on a plane ticket, and
Yeah.
I've got to just go balls to the wall essentially. I just throw all my paycheck away, and but it's okay, guys. It's a LAN. It's great. I suppose LANs with payment aren't really. I don't know. I've never been offered a paid LAN. All the LANs I've done have been voluntary, and I suppose because the timing has been right and the location isn't too bad, I've been like, yeah, let's go for it. I'll do the 6 hour drive. I'll go down here, for the love of the game. But paid LANs, I don't see a lot. I don't know if there's a lot in North America.
Yeah, and see, I'm gonna have to plead ignorance on this one because I'm just
Mm,
not too familiar. 'It's so funny. I'm from North America, but all of my casting is over in different regions. So
woo!
I think I've only done like two cast in my own region, and then
Mhm.
everything I do is EU, SSA, or APAC.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I mean, I think I've region hopped a little bit. I've done a little bit of APAC, but EU's kind of just be my. I mean, I might as well. The same time zone, same country. Yeah, go for it. And a lot of opportunities are in EU, I suppose. There's a
Yeah.
lot that I can do that you can't unless you drop the 4 figures on a plane ticket, um, which is crazy. I mean, if see the thing is, esports is not in the place right now for lands at least to offer assistance when it comes to talent, unless like you're tier 1 and stuff. Then I mean,
Right.
congrats.
Yeah.
You're so good. You got all this paid for free. But for you, it's like if so. Say if the plane ticket was paid for, right? So it's a voluntary LAN. Plane ticket's paid for. Your hotel's paid for. Is that like a bigger incentive for you to then be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go do this," even if it's voluntary?
100%. I mean, if I think that's the biggest hurdle is that
Mm-hmm.
plane ticket, and if like I'll pay for lodging and stuff if they're like, hey, here's a plane ticket, I'll I'm getting on that plane. I'll see you. I'll see you at the land.
I don't
Um,
care where I'm
but
going.
yeah, that's I mean, but that's the biggest part, and I mean, it's already probably really expensive to even run a land, trying to get a venue, and then all the equipment and stuff like that. So I understand like why like most of the lower tier lands don't really offer pay for that because
Mm-hmm.
they're already putting a good amount of money into just making the land exist in the first place. Um, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. Perhaps lands one day on the cards. But for now, I'm just happy to be here screaming at pixels. And that's casting. I'll admit this, especially today, since I haven't slept.
Mm-hmm.
It has completely destroyed my sleep schedule because of time zone differences.
I can imagine. I would not be. I don't have the level of commitment to wake up at 4 a.m. for a cast. I mean, I'd get noise complaints or some of my neighbors would have a go at me. But yeah, that it's crazy how like you have to wake up at 4 a.m. to cast. I wouldn't have the energy. I'd be like, nope. I'm just gonna sit to my own time zone. I'm not doing this, which I suppose I do. Um, but I mean, that's wild. That's crazy. Having you wake up for a dream station and your room was just pitch black, and here we are with me and Sir Pegasus, bright windows. It's like 12 noon. It's great. The day's just starting and you're like, yup, everyone's still asleep. All of America's asleep, but I'm not. I've got Rocket League to cast. Crazy,
Yeah,
crazy commitment.
no, trust me. Some of those times, especially the Dream Station cast we did together, where I was situated, literally like off to my side was a couch,
Mhm.
and the entire time, whenever I stopped talking, I just kind of like started like disassociating, drifting my view towards that couch, like, oh, a nap would be lovely right now. But it
Oh,
is because I mean, it is passion. Like, I get this opportunity. I'm insanely grateful for the opportunity. I see the time zone. I go, oh, that sucks. Let's make it happen.
that sucks, but hey, we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna take the bill by the horns, and we're gonna fuck around and find out. I suppose. Um,
I
but
just like screaming at pixels.
yeah, I mean, even if it's 4 a.m. and you get noise complaints, I love screaming at pixels. I could never. I could never. My neighbors would actually. They'd probably throw me out themselves. They'd bust on my door and horrible, horrible, horrible stuff. Never waking up at 4 a.m. I feel bad even shouting at like 7 p.m. or something. I feel like I'm waking up the whole of my street, even though everyone's like probably not asleep. I just feel like I'm being a nuisance. I'm so like aware of my shouting. I'm like, I tell my
Right.
girlfriend, I'm like, yep, no, I'm gonna be casting. Just go do your thing. Preferably put music on whilst you're like sitting in the living room doing something, so you don't have to hear me shout about like flip resets, musty. It's it's kind of like secondhand embarrassment. I don't know if you get it, but when I watch back my own VODs and stuff, I'm like, oh lord, oh no. The embarrassment hits me, and I'm like, oh no way.
Yeah, I mean, I hate hearing my own voice. I mean, I like talking. I
Mm-hmm.
Why I got into casting, but I hate listening to my own voice on recordings, I should say. So every time, and I do every time, listen back to my VODs, I'm always like, ah, why do you sound like that?
Oh, why did you use that phrase? Why did you say those words? This would have been better. And you're like, but in the moment, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
we're always like our biggest critics. That's the main thing. Everyone's their biggest critic. Especially
Right.
I don't think anyone likes the sound of their own voice. If you do, you're lying. It's so hard to like watch something back and be like, God, that's me. Oh God, I love myself. Like what? That's crazy. I don't know if anyone does that. If anyone does that, let me know because you're a psychopath. But most importantly, I need tips on how to change my mindset about my cringing,
Right.
watching a VOD back. Crazy, crazy stuff. But Borky, a couple of questions that I asked everyone else so far. I'm gonna throw them at you, right? And just whatever comes to your mind first. These are like quick fire, these ones, right?
Okay.
Whatever comes to your
Okay.
mind first, you go for it. You ready?
Right. Right. Let's get it.
Yup. So, one caster who you deal with forever, if you had to. You're at gunpoint, you have to pick one caster to deal with. Who you picking?
Oh, how's this supposed to be a rapid fire question? There's so many good people out
So much to
there.
think about it. Oh.
No, if I had to pick one person,
Mhm.
I think it. Oh, I mean, there's two people that I want to pick here.
Oh.
Um, I'm gonna
Oh.
I'm gonna have to go with Sir Pegasus just because
Mhm.
every time I've worked with him has been an absolute blast. I worked with him literally this morning. I stayed awake for it, didn't go to sleep. And it's just always such an amazing time. And he's really somebody that I look up to in the scene. I remember watching him cast, I think it was Brave Esports and
Mhm.
one of the RLCS splits. And just seeing him and the energy that he brought to the game, I was like, I want to be like that guy. And then being able to work with him for my first cast was like, oh my goodness, like I know you. This is crazy. And then just
I've
every
seen you
time I've worked
before.
with him. Yeah, and every time I've worked with him since has always been a pleasure and a blast. And then of course my honorable mention is Mr. Poggy, just because he's been a day one for me.
That's kind of that's sweet. Day one, forever, stuck in the locked in the industry forever. That's yeah. Do you know when you first cast with someone, I feel like you just kind of want to take them with you. Like you almost want to kind of like put them on your back and let's go do this together. Let's explore the industry. I've had so many people that I've casted with, and I'm like, you're a real one. I'd love to cast with you on everything, but then it turns out you just can't. You know, like tournament organizers, they'll be like, hey, do you want to cast this? Oh, great, you're casting with this person, and you can't really have a set duel. So it's kind of, I mean, when you're in tier one, you have that set duel, but like,
Right.
we don't really get to pick that. We were kind of like, hey, I'll take this opportunity. Who am I casting with, by the way? And you've got to get to know this brand new person within like 30 minutes before a cast, and it's like, oh, well, improvisation.
Yeah, no, improvisation in esports is such a big thing. I remember one of the earlier tips that I got for casting was take a class on improv because one, you never know who you're going to end up working with. You never know what the game is going to provide. It's always so unpredictable. So just being able to think on your feet and be quickly enough or quick enough to react to a situation that really is going to be um, my advice here for anybody that is trying to get into casting.
Yeah, it's improv is key. You've got to be able to waffle. You've got to be able to think on your feet. And especially if you don't know your duo that you're doing it with, it's like, oh, well, you're gonna have to be a master at like improv and thinking on your feet just within 30 minutes of knowing each other. But question number two: one game that you love playing, so an esport title, one game that you love playing, but you would never cast it.
That's tough. So
Mm-hmm. The
I gotta
thinking
I gotta
caps are
think
on.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. These aren't really quick fire. My whole thing was, hey, let's make these quick fire. They're not. They're just more like fun, deep thought conversations.
See, that's difficult because I feel like I don't I don't play too many competitive games. Like I
Mhm.
do, but like a lot of them I wouldn't say were like esports scenes. Um, because I mean Counter Strike and Rocket League are my two big ones. I've been there, casted those. Um, and I see I don't play League, I don't play Dota or any of those games, so I can't
Mhm.
say those. Man,
Ooh,
I don't even
it's hard.
I gotta think.
Got the thinking caps on for it. I mean, for me, League was my one. I was like, hey, I love playing League, but I would never cast it. I don't understand what I'm doing half the time. I just insta lock top lane and just go with the flow. But the one, oh, who was it that said this game? Who was it? I think Puffle Bob said Dead by Daylight, which is a really like that was a really
Oh,
good
that's a
answer.
really good answer. Yeah. I don't even know where I would start with casting for Dead by Daylight. Um, if I had to give an answer, I would say like maybe like a battle royale game.
Hmm.
Like I don't really play it anymore, but I used to be really into PUBG or like Warzone and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
like I love playing battle royales, but I don't think I would be very suitable in like a battle royale cast. So like Apex Legends, for example. Like I
Hmm.
love Apex Legends. I love the esport. I don't think I would be able to thrive as well in it.
Ah, there we go. You got one. You got one. The thinking cap was on and it worked. It was. That is such a hard question though. Like genuinely, one game you love playing but would never cast. It's like, I've actually really got to think about this. What game do I love to play? But like, I suck at it, so I don't understand it. At least in my terms, you might be great at Apex. I don't know. I've like played 2 games of
Oh.
Apex as well. No, no good.
No, no. I'm not good at battle royales. It's pray that I'm somehow alive long enough to get a cheeky kill at the end.
You got to sit in camp and hope that like I can wipe out the last remaining team and then get that victory royale. God, I hate Fortnite. Bad game, horrible game. But final
Well, soon
question.
you can play Rocket League and Fortnite,
Oh
allegedly.
no. Oh. Don't remind me.
That's what the rumors are saying.
I'll never be playing Rocket League ever again if it goes to Fortnite. I might just uninstall. I might just become a League of Legends caster if if that happens. I might
Yeah,
just have
Rocket
to hop
League's
on
gonna
League.
become your answer for that previous question.
It's gonna do a complete 180. I'm gonna flip the script. I'm like, oh, I love playing Rocket League, but I'm never gonna cast it. Fortnite. Yeah, Epic Games, man. What are you doing? Please don't listen to us. Please bring back trading while you're at it.
Oh yeah,
But
trading, please.
trading was so good. Final question. Precast ritual or a precast routine. Do you have one? Do you have something that you do before almost every single cast?
Before every single cast. So this is kind of like I wouldn't say it's like right before the cast, but every
Mhm.
single cast that I have, I like to know what I'm talking about. So I will spend like 2 to 3 hours just researching everything that I can. So whether it's the bracket and who we might see in the bracket or who's even on the team, like if it's a team I'm not too familiar with that I got an opportunity for, I'll look at all their past results because I always want to know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
And I feel like if I'm given this opportunity, I'm entrusted to provide the most accurate information that I can. Um, Even though sometimes I do love spreading misinformation.
Little white
But
lie.
yeah, yeah, so it's just like for me, part of my prep for before every cast is I just kind of sit down and look through everything that I can. So when I head into it, I'm like, okay, I know they have this result. I'm expecting them to do X, Y, and Z for this event. I know who we're playing against. These are possible dark horses to watch out for. And I just like having that little extra bit of knowledge
Mhm.
because then I feel more prepared when I do have to improv, as we were talking about. Um, and then right before the cast, I think I've heard this before from other people, which is probably why I started doing it. I kind of just like sing to myself to
Yep.
like get the vocal cords ready.
That seems like a very common thing. Everyone just starts like belting songs or something. It seems like something that every caster at least has tried once. I mean, it goes hard. Sometimes you just need a little bit of a sing along, a sing song, I suppose, before your cast, and then you're good to go. Um, yeah, but
Yeah, it gets you hyped too, builds that energy.
it does, especially if it's like white girl music. You're hyped, you're hyped. You got that top 50 pop on, and you're set for a good cast. But genuinely, just I mean, I understand the whole, when you go for a cast and you get this opportunity, and it's like, oh, I don't know these teams. I need to do all my research, and I do the same. I'm always like, right, who are these players? What have they done before? And how can I give so much information to the stream? Because I'm sure you've had casts like this as well, where your information is very limited, so you don't feel like
Right.
you can bring your all. I mean, for me, if I don't know a lot about the teams, I feel like my downtime in between games or before games are very unentertaining because I'm not able to like go in depth and provide that big, just here's what this team has done, here's what we're expecting.
Yeah, I mean, there's moments where you're gonna get that where, like, let's say, like, it's a new team or upcoming talent, so there's not too much behind them.
Mm-hmm.
But usually in those cases, I just like to be straight up and honest. I'll be like, hey, this person's new. I don't really know much about them, or I haven't heard too much about these teams or seen this person before. So for both of us, it's gonna be a learning experience, or we're gonna witness it together for the first time. If you're a viewer and haven't seen it. So I just like to kind of fall back on that if I don't know. But
Yeah.
it's always crazy. Whenever I'm casting, I always have like the game and everything here on my first monitor. And then I have like notepads,
Yep.
Excel
Mm-hmm.
sheets, every rosters, Wikipedia, Start GG, everything just pulled up on the second monitor. I'm always just flipping between as much as I can.
Yeah, no, that's so for real. Every single tab's open. I'm like scrolling through years worth of like achievements. I'm like, oh, this player done this back in 2017. Crazy. Yeah, no, but for us, when it comes to like, I don't want to say amateur casting because I mean we've been paid, right? So we're professionals. But when it comes to
Yeah.
like our level of casting, we aren't really given a lot of information beforehand, right? We're always like, right, here's the opportunity. I'm gonna have to then go and spend my own time researching, which is something that I suppose in tier one you don't really need to do because you know the teams that are there. They're always gonna be there in tier one.
Yeah, it is a really big factor, and I mean, I guess that's at the end of the day where just the love for the game comes into play because
Mm-hmm.
if it's a like if it was something that I didn't have an interest in or like passion for, I I don't know if I would see myself putting in the hours that I do researching. Because at the same time, I'm like, whenever I'd cast, like, yeah, I love that, but I just love Rocket League first and foremost. So for me, it's just like, oh, okay, it's really cool seeing what this person has accomplished in Rocket League and what
Mm.
they can accomplish. So I don't mind taking that extra step or time out of my day to look through it because I'm already interested in it anyways. So I probably would have ended up finding them one way or another and doing it. So
Yeah, yeah, of course. When it comes to like, I mean, I suppose if we don't love the game, we're not gonna love casting. So hey, we love the game. We're gonna put our time into it. We're gonna put our time into giving you an entertaining stream as well. Because if we didn't put all this time in beforehand, you're not gonna get an entertaining stream, and we're not
right,
gonna get much out of it. We're gonna just be giving you the bog standard cast. Everyone has their own casts that they know. Hey, I haven't done my best in this one. I'm just gonna pack it up and move forward for the next. But that's the fun of casting.
yeah. Unfortunately, it feels like a lot of my cast. You're getting worse critic. I cast and I'm like, oh, whenever I'm listening to the VOD, when does the other guy start speaking? Who's this guy?
That's rough. Yeah, I'm sometimes the complete same. I'm like, oh, that was how I casted. Damn. Okay, time to move on. We'll bring our A game next time. Um,
Yeah.
it's so weird that like we're all our worst critics and we're all improving over time. Hopefully, maybe.
Yes, slow and steady. No, there's definitely a lot of improvement. Like if I went back and listened to like my first Counter Strike cast compared to the cast I did today, it's such a night and day difference.
Hmm.
And I mean, it just comes with that experience and the reps. And I mean, only been 8 months, but I feel like I've already made such a significant improvement in myself. And just like not only like my casting, but like confidence and stuff. Like I struggled a lot with social anxiety.
Hmm.
Um, and with casting, you don't really have that. Like one, you're streaming in front of however many people, and you're providing the show for them. So can't have any fear of public speaking there. It's a lot easier online though because you don't see any
Yeah.
of those people looking at you. Sometimes I will look over though and see like however many viewers and be like, oh wow, that's a
I'm
lot of
like,
people.
whoa.
Like, I hope I don't mess up. But like, yeah, like when you're casting, one, you have to meet new people. You have to be friendly. You have to be able to introduce and interact with producers or casters or players, talent staff. And then of course like just providing a show and speaking and not just like kind of cowering away from it, I guess,
No,
which is
just
something I would have done previously.
oh, 100%. Like having to meet new people was like my biggest fear. I'm like, oh Lord, what are you gonna think of me? But Borky, just you wait till you're on that land stage. It's like 10 times. It's 10 times worse. You step on there. There's a big camera in front of you. Lights. Boom, boom. Oh, I'm blinded. I can't see photography as well. Oh Lord, how do I look? And then it's like, God, I've got to look at myself cast. I don't know if you look at yourself as you cast. I avoid it like the plague. I'm like, yep, no, my camera's on. I'm gonna put that on a separate monitor. I'm gonna put a tab over it so I don't have to see, so that I don't have to focus. But on a LAN, you're like,
Right.
yo, I've got my entire face in front of me. I can't look away. God help me. And it's like, oh well, GG's, I suppose. Borkey on LAN's gonna happen. Trust. It's gonna happen. 2026 is gonna be, or maybe 2025. You never know. We're only what 9 months in almost.
Yeah, no, I honestly I like the prediction. I'm all here
Mm-hmm,
for it. I'm
mm-hmm.
not gonna say no to it.
Borky Land 2026 or 2025. It's gonna happen. We're manifesting it. But Borky, thank you for joining me. It's been great. I love a good yap. You're always so good to yap to, and very good caster as well. But of course,
I
before I
appreciate it.
let you go back to, well, go get your sleep because you've not slept, you maniac. um, where can people find you? I have your Twitter right. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm pointing to it. You can't see this. I'm pointing to it. But where can people find you?
Somewhere down here.
Yeah, somewhere there.
Uh, yeah. So you can find me at Borkey underscore on basically all of my socials and platforms. I didn't realize how common Borky was, but I'm also surprised that I was even able to get Borky underscore. So you can find me there, Twitter, Twitch. I think there's Discord if you want to talk. I don't know. This is the only
I don't know.
real platforms that I have. So Borky underscore there. Um, and I mean, if you want, I can give a quick background of how I got Borky.
Oh, go on, go for it. Give us a quick background.
Okay, so I'll be quick with this because I know you're trying to end the episode, but so my last name is Burke. Um, and for some reason it was like one random week when I was in high school where like every substitute teacher or any person that was trying to read my last name kept saying it as Bork, and I don't know why because it's BU, but
RKE.
yeah, people
Yeah.
kept saying it as Bork, so I just thought it was really funny. um and then so I just changed my gamer tags to Bork, and somehow the Y ended up in there. And yeah, that's it.
That's the story. That's the creation of Borkey. Wow. I can't lie. I thought because you have like a dog profile picture, I was like, oh, you just kind
See,
of
yeah,
like,
that kind of played into it too,
yeah.
because big big dog fan. So I was like, you know what, dog go Bork. People call me Bork. Yeah, let's send it.
It sends it, and well, the story of Borkey has begun, and it is thriving. Borkey Land is gonna happen 2025, 2026. Manifesting right here. We'll come back in like 2027. This is gonna be like a time capsule. We'll come back and we're like, yo, Borkey had 3 lands in 2025 and 7 in 2026. Oh my, we underestimated. Damn, that's crazy. Oh,
uh,
I
I
wish.
hope
I
so.
wish.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. Borkey in the UK land. Whoa. Flight played for. Flight played for. Flight paid for. Whoa. Even better. Paid land. Yeah. God. The world of esports. That's great.
Yeah, and
Absolutely great.
it's always moving, it's always evolving, so we never know.
Exactly that. We'll never know. But what we do know is where to find Borkey on every single thing now. And we do know the story of Borkey. So, hey, we're learning something new every day. It's like a school day. But yeah, thank you for joining me, Borkey. It's been great. A good episode. And you did, I'm going to let you know, you did provide the same level of mark of key. Don't worry, you've provided entertainment. You can rest easy knowing that you have been entertaining on the Shoutcast Stories podcast.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and thank you for putting this together as well. I've watched the first two episodes that have been out, and they've been a blast to watch. I don't really listen to podcasts either, so they've always drawn me in. So thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure yapping with you today.
I'm glad that you love it, and I'm glad that you guys are also listening. It's a project I've wanted to do for a long time, so I'm glad it's getting engagement. I'm glad that it's maybe helping some people. But hey, we will be back for another episode in 1 week time if I can stick to my schedule, because I suck at doing that apparently. But I'm gonna leave it as a secret to who we bring on. I don't know who we're bringing on, but we'll have another cool guest in episode number 5. So stay tuned for that. Of course, you can follow Borky on all of his socials like he mentions, and well, you can follow me everywhere on Like a Spec. So thank you for joining me. Thank you, Borky, and we will catch you in episode number 5 next week.